In this video I'll be having a look at completing Rotbone's second Mythic mission that involves him healing 30,000 health in one turn. This is going to be quite involved because I'm trying to do it in a campaign. There's going to be lots of little things that I'll need to be doing, so I'm just going to sort of go through them, jump between them, and there'll be big cuts in between where I'll just be grinding away at doing stuff that needs to be done, but I'll explain it as I go along. So these are the essential characters I'll be needing because they all have over 6,000 health, so I can give them the full amount of healing that they need in order to meet the requirements for this mission. I obviously need Rotbone for this. I want Khan because I'm going to be using his passive ability to damage my other characters. Because the enemies, they're doing basically no damage, so they won't be able to injure him rapidly, injure my characters rapidly enough for me to not want to hang myself before completing this. And Rask is also necessary because he deals flame damage, which means that he can light a fire underneath Khan, and that will remove 5% of Khan's health each time he spends a turn on flame. So what I'm about to demonstrate is how I'll be injuring Khan, because obviously he can't injure himself with his own passive and I want him to be injured rapidly, so kill the guardsman with Rask and then move Khan onto the flames. And I'll be repeating this until Khan he's lost 6,000 health. And of course I'll also try to not give him a shield if that causes him to not take damage from the flames. It's something I need to watch out for. Also, you'll see that I've taken off his block item and his crit item to avoid him blocking the flame damage, and with the crits I don't want him to accidentally kill any of my other characters by doing a massive amount of damage that I'm not expecting because he scored a crit, so yeah. So I've got Khan down to a point where he can be healed for 6,000 health. And the next thing to do is to go and kill a bunch of Voxcasters, not all of them, but hopefully 4 of them, which will stop them from flooding the bottom of the map with summons too fast, which will allow my Khan to attack his allies with his passive without being distracted by enemies being spawned in close to him. So, mission success on that front. I will now get a couple of kills with Khan, get his passive online, and he will now be able to injure his teammates quite rapidly. I'd just like to quickly add that Khan will not move in order to make an attack with his passive if he has a target already in melee with him, so you can use this fact to cause him to attack whichever characters you want by moving them into melee with him and making sure they're the only character in melee with him. So I'm just going to be keeping the enemies blocked on one side of the map and using Khan to injure my other teammates. And I'll just be keeping, cycling them in and out of this position depending on which one I want to be injuring at a certain point. So I've now managed to get everyone as injured as they need to be for me to pull this off, and I will now allow the map to fill up with enemies once again. In the meantime, I'll just keep Khan adjacent to Rotbone so I can easily heal away any of the damage that Khan does to him whilst I'm waiting. So I've got everything set up. The top of the map is basically full, so what I'm going to do now is spawn in Poxwalkers with Corrodius. Now any guardsmen that spawn in the lower portion of the map will attack the Poxwalkers and injure them, and hopefully they will be killed by Khan. Actually no, I should allow Rotbone to be injured a little more before I attempt this. So what I'm going to do actually is hit this guy with Malodus and I'll be back to you later. Right, sorry for that little hiccup. We're back on it, so let's see what happens. Guardsman is spawned in, so we know we're good to go. Now with the way things are set up here, my Poxwalkers won't be able to attack any guardsmen except the ones that get spawned in the bottom of the map, so I won't have to worry about all of the enemies being killed and me completing this battle before I can pull off the Rotbone heal. So it's going to spawn in the Poxwalkers now and see what happens. So that is not ideal. I didn't want my the guardsman to be attacking Corrodius instead of my Poxwalkers, but hopefully if I put him here, that will keep them off his back. This one wants to attack Khan instead now. However, this Poxwalker over here, due to its positioning, is getting shot at, so that is actually fine. So what I'm going to do is allow this Poxwalker to escape at some point. And I'll then be able to heal it with Rotbone. So how much health has it had taken away? 700 health. Is that enough? 700 on top of... Yes, I think that means I can now pull off a proper heal and get the 30,000 healing with Rotbone. So I'm going to start trying to make way for these Poxwalkers to move out. I need Khan to move towards the enemies. And I'll give the Poxwalkers some extra movement. Okay, so I think we are ready to go with this nonsense. So let's make sure that I don't mess this up just by putting people in wrong positions. So Malithus can move here. Khan can move here. Corrodius there. Rask here. And then we put Rotbone in the middle of all of them and mass heal. And I think that should do it. I'll just let this battle play out and see if I get that achievement for Rotbone, getting his 30k healing. Yeah, done it. Miraculously, with his active at level 48. If you want to avoid all that rigmarole with the Poxwalker, then you can just get his active to level 49, but that's how I did this without needing to do that. So anyway, hope that is not horrendous. It was actually pretty horrendous for me. Yeah, I probably wouldn't recommend doing this, but if you want to try it, it's possible.